induce T cells of apoptosis, which occurs in the early stages of HIV. One might be able to reverse the process completely and eradicate the virus. Wow, that one was pretty deep. And so then they went on to talk about cancer. The endocannabinoid system should be evaluated as a possible alternative to treat cancer. One of the keys to eradicating cancer is a selective inductive of apoptosis. THC has been shown to trigger apoptosis, as mentioned earlier. If we could determine the appropriate cannabinoids, which they're trying to study, they do not have a cure, so don't just go and say, oh, CBD can cure cancer. No, we don't know that. We don't. But they're trying to identify the appropriate cannabinoids like THC, THCA, CBD, T-AG, etc., associated with cancer. We could take a stepwise approach to neutralize specific cancers. This will be accomplished by injecting specific cannabinoids into the cancerous tumor via or virus or vector. Since CB2 has the largest effect on apoptosis. Remember, those are those receptors. CB1 is in your body, CB2. We can enhance CB2 binding by utilizing an agonist of MAGL. This would prevent the cannabinoids that generally bind to the CB2 receptors from being degraded, resulting in an increase in prolonged concentration of cannabinoids within the bloodstream. The specific fatty acids to be blocked or enhanced may vary from cancer to cancer, as well as cannabinoids used in treatment. This may be an effective way to induce apoptosis inside the cells, which would eradicate cancer while minimizing adverse reactions commonly associated with conventional chemotherapy. This could prove to be very successful due to the fact that once certain mutations in the cells have resulted in cancer, the ability to process a normal signal from P53 and other THG oncogenes is lost. Through utilizing the ECS to override these cancerous cells, these cells may be induced to attend new apoptotic signals. Whew. Wow. So what we're saying, don't go around and say, oh, well, they got a cure for cancer. It's cannabinoids. No, they're researching. And they're researching. They're nowhere near yet, but they are trying to research and find out how these cannabinoids could work. So there's so much research to be done. So no, there's research to be done on everything we're reading about. This is something they're trying to say. This could be something we could look at. This needs to be something that we study. This needs to be something that we do research on. And this is what they're doing. So then they went on to epilepsy. Epilepsy is a complex disease in which there are multiple theorized causes such as epigenetics, neurotransmitter imbalances, ion-gated channel dysfunction. However, we will be focused on the previously mentioned variables and their effect on epilepsy. So we do know that for seizures, there are CBD. There's drugs that have CBD in them that the FDA has approved, and that's for seizures. So we know that part. And so we don't really need to go into that one as much, but the epileptic seizures are not all the same. There are partial seizures and generalized seizures. The main cause of epilepsy is the failure of membranes to reach its equilibrium post-action potential. And this was written by Bromfield in 2006. Action potentials are formed due to depolarizations of the neuronal membrane, which prompts release of the neurotransmitter at the axon terminal. So they're saying there are 8 types of neurotransmitters in the brain. However, we'll be focused primarily on the major excitatory and inhibitory neurotransmitters, glutamate and GABA, respectively. And so what they started to do is look at these things exclusively. And they said, since the cannabinoids are indigenous in nature, we would argue that every endocannabinoid and CB receptor plays a specific role in the homeostatic function of the muscle organelle or cascade that it controls. So despite the success thus far that has been achieved by treating epilepsy with cannabis, perhaps a more optional treatment they're looking at route would be to utilize the endocannabinoid system directly. Despite the challenges, we believe that it will provide a more effective treatment for epilepsy. This raises the question of how we use the intricate pathways of the endocannabinoid system to manipulate the neurotransmitter in action potential. Interestingly, the most efficient way to stimulate short-term endothelial CB, in parentheses, ECB, mobilization. What you guys know, I get tongue-tied, and these are a lot of tongue-tying words, but I'm doing good. Mobilization would be utilizing depolarization of postsynaptic membranes, the last from 1s to 10. Action potentials are also depolarization, specifically involving the neuronal membrane. If artificial stimulation of the ECB is a similar process to these action potentials, it would make sense that the body's natural response to these actions potential is to control them with endocannabinoid system due to the homeostatic function of the system. And it's a lot more in there. And it says the most promising treatment for epilepsy may be utilizing the CB1 receptors located throughout the brain, specifically for the response to action potentials and their ability to manipulate GABA in epilepsy. Regardless of where the miscommunications in the EC and the endocannabinoid system is the cause or simply a side effect of epilepsy, a possible path to curing it through manipulation. The ECS, which is the endocannabinoid system, with a prolonged cannabinoid therapy. To achieve this, we must directly research into specificity. I'm going to say the word specificity of each endocannabinoid and their respective receptors. Once we fully decode the endocannabinoid system and its role with respect to the epilepsy. So what they're saying is that they are now at this point really trying to find out how the endocannabinoid system works in conjunction with the CB1 receptors, which are mostly located in the brain. They're trying to find out how this actually works and how this treatment could work with respect to epilepsy, with fully decoding and understanding the endocannabinoid system is what they're really saying. And so the conclusion of that is the endocannabinoid system is one of, if not the most important system in our body. Its role in the homeostatic function of the body is undeniable, and its sphere of influence is incredible. Additionally, it also plays a major role in apoptotic diseases, mitochondrial function, and brain function. Its contribution is more than maintaining homeostasis. It also has a profound ability in regulation, working in retrograde fashion and with a generally inhibitory nature. The endocannabinoid system can act as a kill switch. However, it has been shown to play an inhibitory or stimulatory role based on the size of the influx of cannabinoids, resulting in biomodular regulation. Furthermore, due to the nature of the rate of degradation of the cannabinoid, it does not have a long-term side effect as most of the current drugs on the market. And that is so, that was like so mind-blowing for me that I read this article and I wanted to just say, wow, I need to just share this article for people that are wanting to understand more about cannabinoids, but share not just saying things, but actually share the science. That's the most important thing that you can share is science. And so what they did is in the conclusion of it all, they wrote the ECS, which is the endocannabinoid system, is one of the most important systems, and that the endocannabinoid system may not only provide answers for diseases with no known cure, but it could change the way we approach medicine. The system would allow us to change our focus from invasive pharmacological interventions for depression, benzodiazepine for anxiety, chemotherapies for cancer, to uncovering the mystery of why the body is failing to maintain homeostasis. Understanding the role of the endocannabinoid system in these diseases confer new directions for medicine, which may eradicate some of the use of less tolerable therapeutics. And so this is, people are really trying to see, scientists want to know if the endocannabinoid system can act as a kill switch. However, it may have been shown to play an inhibitory or stimulatory role based on the size of the influx of the cannabinoid. And so these are things that science is working with. These are things that scientists are researching. They're trying to find out. They're not there yet. There's a lot more research that needs to be done. It's a lot more. And that's kind of what a lot of scientists have come to the conclusion, and they want to explore, and they are exploring. But I just wanted to point out who who actually discovered the endocannabinoid system, who actually understood that THC was not, it wasn't just the plant, that the plant could be actually divided, and it could be separated with other cannabinoids that did other things in the human body, not just the THC. And so the science is amazing behind this. And this is why I wanted to give you a deep dive into cannabinoids and why I really got into this. And I really was going to do a commercial today, but I just decided I wasn't going to, but I should. And so I'll probably do the commercial here at the end, but because I wanted to just keep you enthralled in what I was doing, what I was reading here. And it took me 3 weeks to get all this information. So, I'm not coming with anything unless it's done. And it is done. I'm not going to get up here and just talk to you. I'm not doing that. I want to be able to bring something meaningful to you. And I hope that I was able to do that today. And with that being said, I'm going to give you a word from our sponsor, which you already know is me. So with that being said, here we go.
Wellness, a brand built on science, offering clinical-grade CBD formulations with natural extracts and added supplements. Our product line is third-party tested by certified independent labs to ensure potency and purity. And our CBD formulations. Our featured product today is our 1,500 mg phytocannabinoid-rich CBD oil formulation. The carrier oil is hemp seed oil, blended with amino acids, omegas 3, 6, and 9. With natural peppermint oil. Studies have shown CBD is a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Professionally produced in GMP-compliant and FDA-approved factories. Shop with confidence with the Auspicious Wellness brand. The plant-based wellness line. Auspicious Wellness carries a complete line of CBD-infused wellness products. The brand you can trust, built on science.
Alrighty. Well, I'm back. And with that being said, I have a surprise for you, for those of who stayed around to the end of the show. From now until June 7th, our 1,500 milligram CBD oil drops, which are carrier oils, hemp seed oil, we are having a sale, okay? And this is the beginning of the kickoff of our Summer of Wellness. You get one regular price and 50% off the next bottle. So you'll save money on that for your Summer of Wellness. The promo code is 50 off, 50 OFF, 50 space OFF. I should have kept them together, but it's 50 off. Try 50 and then OFF. If that doesn't work, try 50 space OFF. And so just do the space between the 50 and off. And so with that being said, I'm just excited to be able to continue to bring exciting formulations that are followed by science, that we're hoping to make a difference in the world. Brands, not just formulations, but formulations that have been tested for purity and potency with the independent lab. That's very important because you want to make sure what you're taking is safe. And so I'm excited that was able to take you through this whole thing today. And it was kind of hard for me because, I'm tongue-tied. So I have to push myself and tell myself I'm not, and push myself to pronounce words and be able to say, okay, I'm human. Even if I don't pronounce all the words correctly, the most important thing is the reason behind why I'm trying to pronounce these words correctly, because I want to bring efficacy to this industry, because it's a very important industry. And science is really, really trying to get information that is informative to give to us. And it's all out there. We have to be willing to share knowledge. And knowledge is power. Knowledge is everything. And that is your wealth. Knowledge is your wealth. And you have to remember that. And I want to encourage everyone to eat healthy, stay healthy, be healthy. Make sure that you get your COVID shots done. How important is that you do that? Make sure you get your testing if you don't feel well. Make sure that you just don't walk around and try and guess if you're sick or not. Go see a doctor. Go and, go get tested. And so with that being said, the next part of our series is the last part. It's the last one. And that one is about spirit and soul. And that one is about detoxing your spirit and your soul. And that one's going to be, Woo! That's the last one. And I don't have to do a lot of research. I already did it. So I better have my butt back here next week with you. And with that being said,